We're here on the organic farm of Fergus Hanly in Limerick. We're standing in front of a 4-bay slatted shed with a straw lie-back. So Fergus, can you talk us through your farming system here?
So I work off farm, so I'm a part-time farmer. So what I do is I buy weanlings in the autumn, October, November time, bring them straight into the shed, keep them in the shed till about, depending on the weather in the springtime, but they're usually here until March. They go out in grass in March, hopefully by Paddy's Day usually, and I keep them on grass then until the following October, and they get sold as store cattle or finished cattle, depending on how good or not they are. And they go down to the good herdsman in care. And so that's what I do. In the evening time after I finish work, I come home here because the system, everything works in the shed. I feed silage. They usually get about, at the moment, there's just short of 30 weanlings there. They get about 5 bales of silage a week, and job is usually done in about 3/4 of an hour, and it can be done in the dark. And that's good because I'll be looking forward to getting in home for my dinner. So, and that's it really. Keep it very simple. Buy weanlings in November and sell them the following October, and buy them back in a couple of weeks after that bunch have been sold.
How much straw do you use, and how often do you bed the shed?
So about 2 bales of straw a week. So I bed them every evening when I'm feeding the cattle. So a bale does me about 3 days. So I break up a bale there, use a third of it every evening. You can see around there I don't fully cover the shed. We have an open area here at this side of the shed, so when the weather's coming from the east, which it doesn't often do, the straw might get a bit wet on this side. So I don't tend to put straw on this side of the shed. But 3/4 of the area is covered, third of a bale every evening. Spread it out with a fork there. It's probably the slowest part of the job. So yeah, 2 bales a week, give or take, is all I use. Buy about 30 bales, a lorry load of straw. Comes up from Cork, and it usually gets me through the winter season. Usually every 4 weeks or that way, I would clean out the shed with the frontal loader and the tractor, rather than build the stuff up too much and have a big job to do at the end of the winter. So even though I give them new straw there every evening, it only gets cleaned out fully every 3 or 4 weeks.
So Fergus, how did you connect the existing shed to include the new straw lie-back?
So that wall there beside you was the back wall of the original slatted shed. So we broke out 3-4 foot gaps in the wall. The middle one is there beside us. So that's the entry point from the cattle, from the slats into the lie-back area. The pillars there were strong enough to graft on the new shed onto it. So we were lucky in that respect. We put in ventilation sheets on the far side there, so we did, and we built a fine big door there, so we had easy access with the tractor for cleaning out the shed, and so on and so forth. So it was a fairly straightforward job. It was no problem to the builders that came on site to do it. I think they had it done in about 4 to 6 weeks. As I said earlier on, there was a few other things they did while they were here around the yard, but it was easy enough for them, and thankfully, as I said, the pillars were strong enough to graft on the new shed onto.
If you were to do this project again, is there anything you would do differently?
I suppose the only thing that I might do is I might divide up the lie-back area. As you can see at the moment, it's all open plan. So yeah, maybe from the point of view of separating cattle, if I wanted to, I might split it in half. But it's something that I can do any time, and I might get around to doing it. It doesn't cause any problems, but that's the only thing I can think of really, yeah.
Can you describe the costs involved in the project, and did you receive any grant aid assistance?
Okay, well, we didn't get any grant aid assistance. We built the add-on to the original slatted shed was, which is a 4-bay shed, was 25 feet deep. The overall shed is capable of holding about 70 weanlings. We don't fill it to capacity. the cost of building the add-on shed back in 2018 was about, I don't have the exact figures, but I'd say around 35,000 euro. We also built on a manure pit, which is just over to the side of it there, where the shed gets cleaned out too. So about 35,000 euro did the whole lot for us. We built a crush inside in the shed as well, and did one or two other things around the yard. So I think the total cost for the overall job back in 2018 was 40,000 euro. So the shed was the most of that. So somewhere between 30 and 35,000 for the shed.